We have officially passed the quarter mark of the season, so it's report card time. Let's grade the 2023 Yankees so far.
You are Locked On Yankees, your daily New York Yankees podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome to Locked On Yankees, which is part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. And thank you for making us your first listen every day. I'm Stacey Gotsoulias, and this episode is brought to you by Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. Last minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed. With me, as always, is my producer, Steve Granado. Steve, what's going on?
Hey, what's up, Stace? Today, we have a preview of the Orioles series, which, of course, starts here tonight. 3-game set beginning tonight. We also have our best and worst moments of the season thus far. Like you said, Stacey, we passed the 25% threshold. We're actually 30% of the way into the season as of this record. So we wanted to pick our early best and worst moments. So the first 2 months of the season, essentially. We'll talk about that in a second. But first, the grades. So, Stacey, we did this way early on in the season. We were a week into the year when we did this. So we're going to compare how we felt then versus how we feel now. We're going to go through all the same categories: offense, starting pitching, bullpen, defense, and also, which we didn't do last time, Stacey, let's talk a little bit about how Aaron Boone and the coaching staff have done. We didn't hand out grades then. It was way too early to give them a grade. But I feel like we have a decent understanding of how this coaching staff acts. We could also maybe throw in a little bit of front office, how they handled things so far. But let's go ahead and start at the top. Let's start with offense. Stacey, last time you gave the offense a week into the season a B-. Where are you at now?
I would say a solid A-.
A-. Wow. Even considering that 2-week struggle stretch.
Yes. I almost said a B+, but I'm thinking like a really low A-, like a 90. Like a
90. Like a flat 90.
Like a flat 90.
Last time I gave it a C+. The Yankees at that time were kind of winning by 1 run, like those 3-1 games, 4-1 games. I'm going to go B-. Considering that 2-week lull.
Okay.
Considering that if Bader and Judge and Stanton are not in the lineup, there is not really a ton to pick up the slack.
Yeah, that's true.
So I still think their offense, as good as it is right now, as a whole, has not really done a good job this season.
Yeah.
Starting pitching, Stacey, last time you gave it a B+. I feel like this might be lower now.
Yeah. I would say B-.
B-. So you dropped it a letter and a half, or whatever, however that works. I was bad at grades, clearly. B-. Why B-?
I just, Cole's kind of floundering a bit there, just a little bit. Nestor was floundering a little bit there. And I feel like the guys that they were hoping would be better haven't gotten that much better. And I don't know. I feel like B- is fair to give to them right now as it stands.
So you went B+ first. Now you're at a B-.
Because when we were first grading it, it was like literally a week in, and it was like,
it was literally one turn through the rotation.
Yeah, it was like, okay, they're okay.
Yeah. Last time I gave it a flat B. I'm going to. This feels harsh because you kind of have some push and pull. I'll get to that in a second, but I'm going to go C+. I think with the slight downturn that Garrett Cole has had from April into May, but with the slight proliferation of Domingo Germán,
right,
that semi-balances out, but Clark Schmidt has still, he's been better, but has been essentially the same pitcher all season. So I'm going to go C+. That all this comes with the caveats of the amount of injuries the Yankees have dealt with this season. And I'm going to go C+ here. I think Garrett Cole needs to turn it back on to get it back to a B, a flat B. We'll see that here tonight. Of course, we'll preview that later on in the show. But we'll see how Sevy does. And I think what also knocks it back down is Domingo getting the ban.
Yeah, that doesn't help.
That doesn't help at all. Stacey, bullpen. Last time we both gave it a B.
Yeah. I would say they're very strong, A-, almost an A.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. They've been unbelievable lately.
There were the slight meltdowns of Clay Holmes,
Mm-hmm.
some inconsistencies from Ron Marinaccio. Ian Hamilton, who is obviously injured right now, has been a complete godsend. Last time we did this, Ian Hamilton was not on the major league roster. Or was he? I don't even know if he had maybe pitched one time at that point.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember.
We were like, who's Ian Hamilton?
Right. Just because they're the best bullpen in the league right now, and I feel like an A- is, I think that's right for them.
The closer role is obviously still in flux,
and
we have seen that. Wandy has been there at some points. Sometimes it's been Clay, sometimes it's been Michael King. So there's still lots to figure out there. Jimmy Cordero's been nice.
Albert Abreu when he doesn't have inherited runners.
Yeah. So there are obviously some improvements. I'm going to go up to a B+.
Okay. That's fair.
I am fairly confident when Boone points to the pen.
Yes. Yeah. It almost, not that it feels completely shocking when someone melts down, but it kind of is in a way, because you feel like, all right, he's going to the bullpen. This should be okay. And when something bad happens, you think, oh, man.
Yeah. It might be more the management of it that makes it drop down from an A to a B+ for me.
Yeah.
We'll get to Boone in the staff in a second. Defense, Stacey. Last time we had glowing reviews. The defense has faltered recently. You gave it an A- a week into the season. Has that changed?
Yes. I would say it's more like a solid B, just because some guys are going through some stuff, and I feel like it dropped a full, almost a full grade. It's like a low B, almost like a B-, but a low B.
Wow. So you fell pretty hard on that then.
Like an 83, I would say.
Wow, you fell pretty hard.
Yeah.
Because at that point in the season, there was one mistake from Volpe. He had obviously it was like 3 games in a row at one point had an error. Glaber's been tough defensively. The Yankees catching situation with runners has not been good overall this season.
Yeah.
See if Rortvedt changes that. I don't fully anticipate that. The Rail Riders last season as a whole also weren't very good.
You know what I realized? We forgot to talk about Rortvedt on Monday's episode. We were talking about.
Well, that's just par for the course.
Yeah.
Still doesn't. No, I think we did talk about him.
Did we? I don't know. I don't think we did. I think we forgot about him.
Maybe I think we did before we recorded.
Yeah.
Nevertheless, so you're saying B-? Are you going B- or B?
B. Yeah,
B. Okay, B. So you're like 83.5.
Yeah.
Just above a B-.
Yeah.
I'm going to stay right there with you as B. Because I was an A last time. I was a hard A, like 95. I'm going to go, I'll give it an 84. Because we're also looking at full body of work.
Right.
There's a little recency bias playing into this.
True.
First month, I had like no problems.
Yeah.
It's just like the last like 2-3 weeks.
Yeah. But I also feel like the return of Harrison Bader kind of bumps them up a little bit from having him in the outfield. The outfield's so much better now. I'm more worried about the infield defense just because of the way they've performed recently, like you said, because Toronto was rough.
Yeah, that was a rough series. The Yankees haven't gotten better or worse in left field defensively. Right. Jake Bauers, he's not really a left fielder. Like he's a right fielder and a first baseman to be real, but that's where they have him playing right now. That's just how it is. That's just how it is for me. Our last one, Stacey. We obviously again did not do this last time, so I feel like this is interesting. Now, again, maybe we give 2 grades.
Okay.
I don't know. Handle this how you see fit.
Okay.
The Aaron Boone and coaching staff grade. Where are you going with this? And do you want to lump in front office here?
No, I'll do front office separately.
Okay. So where are you at with Boone and the rest of the staff? This is a toughie.
This is tough.
Because Boone has made mistakes that have cost a couple of games.
Right. Which is bringing the grade down.
Yeah. But consider this, how he has had to handle the roster.
Right.
There was a lot of things in flux there. How he is now managing, and this is part front office, how he's managing the Domingo Germán situation now.
B-.
B-. Okay. I think I'm right there with you.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to say I was being too tough.
because he has cost, in my mind, at least 1 game.
Yeah.
At least 1, if not 2.
Right.
That's not terrible. To his credit, got Volpe in that leadoff spot for a while. That was working. Glaber in the leadoff spot is starting to work a little bit. He handled the Judge situation. He had limited Hicks's time as much as he could.
Yeah.
He has used IKF about as best as you possibly can. It's really just the bullpen management for me.
Yeah, true. And also, I mean, they didn't anticipate going into this season with 3/5 of the starting rotation injured.
So he's done I think he's done a fair job. I think he gets more criticism than is warranted, but it doesn't mean all criticism is warranted. It is not warranted.
Right. That's true too.
As far as the rest of the coaching staff, maybe there needs to be something figured out defensively here.
Yeah.
And why they're getting worse defensively.
Yeah.
They've done a good job of getting out of this team slump offensively. And they've done a good job with Clay Holmes recently.
That's true.
Of getting him back on track.
And they have so many coaches now. Like when you look in the dugout, there's so many guys in there.
And Luis Rojas.
Yeah.
He gets an A+ for how he screened back at Toronto.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Rojas on his own gets an A+, definitely.
Yeah.
I'll agree with that.
That's funny. As far as before we get out of here for this part of the show, your assessment of the front office.
Now, I don't mean to be mean when I say this, but I'm going to give them an A for DFAing Hicks because I can't believe that the team made that decision and they pulled it off. No offense to Hicks, it's just that he really needed to go. It's better for him. It's better for them. So I'm giving them an A.
Hicks, the Ian Hamilton signing.
Yeah.
For a time, the Frenchie Cordero signing.
Yeah.
And the Cole Calhoun signing might be a nice move here if the Yankees have another injury in the outfield.
All right, don't put that out in the universe.
Well, it's Greg Allen right now.
That's true. And he came in and he was great during the
Cardinals game.
Yeah.
He's played.
He came in late in that game when he was, I'm a Yankee again. Okay. And he had to show up and,
We'll see. That is to be seen. That is still to be seen. The Frenchie signing worked out for like a week and a half.
I know.
But he's not hurting the team.
Right. No, but I feel like Greg Allen is the perfect, you couldn't really ask someone like Hicks to be that person because you're paying him so much money, where Greg Allen, you can do that with him, where you can just be like, oh, you're going to be the pinch runner.
Ride the bench until we need you.
Yeah. And he's perfectly fine with doing that. And he's doing a good job.
I mean, he was in Worcester. So Bronx beats Worcester. No offense to Worcester. They have good food. Anyway, put your grades in the comment section for all of these. I'll leave a little template for you. Offense, starting pitching, bullpen, defense, Boone, coaching staff, and the front office. And of course, while you're down in the comment section, leave your questions for our Friday shows. We always do Fan Mail Friday on our Friday show, so we will answer your questions on Friday's show. You can catch the Orioles series, which starts tonight on Sirius XM at 7:05. Coming up, our best and worst moments of the season thus far.
So Rare is a revolutionary fantasy baseball game and marketplace, transforming fans into owners with officially licensed digital cards featuring players from across all 30 Major League Baseball teams. Unlike other fantasy baseball platforms, So Rare managers truly own their fantasy experience, collecting, buying, selling, and competing with player cards against global opponents to win epic rewards. Win or lose, you still own your cards and there's no cost to play. Game weeks happen twice weekly. They span 3 to 4 days, and at the end of each week, So Rare managers who rank at or near the top of their leaderboards win a variety of rewards. It can include So Rare scarcity cards, game tickets, merchandise, signed jerseys, and VIP experiences. Prizes may vary depending on the competition. So head to sorare.com/lockedon, that's SORARE.com, to draft your team of free player cards, set your lineup, and start competing today to win epic rewards. Again, that's sorare.com/lockedon to start playing today.
Hey, thanks for making Locked On Yankees your first listen. And to the everydayers out there, you guys know the drill at this point, right? On Wednesday, we're breaking down game one. We always break down whatever game was the night before, and of course, we preview the next one, and then we have a little fun in the middle, which is what we're going to do today in today's episode. And by the way, I think we're at 2,600 now. By the way, we really exploded on Monday. We got like over almost 100 subs on Monday. So hello. new people here on YouTube. If you're on the audio side and you want to watch us freaks, you can go ahead and follow the episode description. The link is in there. Stacey, our best and worst moments of the season so far. Again, we are 30% of the way through. Let's start with the good and on the bad. What has been your best moment of the season so far?
Oh, it's got to be Judge. That second home run. That's second. The home run that he hit after they accused him of cheating up in Toronto that broke the maple leaf on the WestJet sign. I mean, how could you get better than that?
That was the moment of the season so far.
Mm-hmm.
And save the home runs last year, the home run last year in Texas. Maybe one of Judge's best moments of his career.
Oh yeah. Definitely.
Right?
I would definitely put it up there.
Is that two? Is that number 2 in his career?
I would think so. Because I mean, just like I said last week, he had to be so annoyed with what they said about him, and just coming out there and doing it in that spot too, to give them the lead, just like
Yeah, massive, just massive in that moment.
so great.
And it just hit him where it hurts, right?
Yeah, and it shut everyone up.
Yeah. I didn't want recency bias to creep into here.
Mm-hmm.
So my best moment of the season so far, opening day.
Yeah.
Don't forget how good Garrett Cole was on opening day. That 11 strikeout performance, it was a new Yankee record, right?
Yeah. And it was cold. I was worried about that with him because he's kind of
finicky. He cut his hair.
Yeah, I was worried about that too. Yeah.
That was a huge start to the year.
Mm-hmm.
Watching him carve up hitters, watching that fastball at 98, 99 just blow past everybody, and his breaking stuff working incredibly well that day. What a start to the season. Like that moment was, that whole game was like everything you could have asked for right on opening day. By the way, while you're hanging out here with us, drop your best and worst moments of the season in the comment section. We want to hear yours. Stacey, that's the good. Here's the bad. Your worst moment of the season.
I would say Brito's start against Minnesota, where he couldn't even make it out of the first 7 runs, and it just
it's tough.
Turned into a blowout, and then it made it so the Yankees lost their first season series against Minnesota in 20 years. And I warned Yankee fans it was gonna come at some point, and I had been saying that the last almost 5 years that I've been doing this podcast. I'm like, it's gonna turn around at some point. They're gonna win a season series against the Yankees. It's gonna happen, and it happened. And that was just, I felt so bad for him because it was, what a rough first inning for him in that game. It was just awful.
We've talked about it on a few occasions about Johnny Brito, Stace.
Mm-hmm.
What the Yankees have asked him to do this year.
I know.
This dude should have been on his 8th turn leading the staff and battling for the ace position right now with Will Warren and Scranton, right?
Yeah.
Like that's what should be happening.
That poor kid. I know. They asked so much from him. And, I mean, for the most part, he's done a pretty good job considering, again, what I said with Boone's grade. He didn't expect some of these guys to be here at all and to play as long as they've been playing. So, yeah.
We thought Johnny Brito would have made 3 starts.
Right. And he was only just sent back down a couple days ago.
And he really wasn't. He was only sent down because they needed to add Sevy.
Sent down if you're not watching on YouTube.
I bet you we see him against San Diego.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I love Johnny Brito. He's a great kid. And if you had asked me in the start of April if I thought by the end of May he would no longer be considered a top prospect because he had graduated from the top prospects, I would have been like, what happened? Like, who fell off the train? Like, what are you talking about? Worst moment for me, Stacey. And this goes back to the conversation we just had about the bullpen management. It was the Domingo Germán getting pulled, Clay Holmes coming in and melting down. That was on May 1st. That game was the most obvious mistake the Yankees have made this season. That was the most glaring in your face from the second you saw who was warming up to the second Boone walked out of the dugout to the second Clay Holmes threw his first pitch. You went, this was a mistake.
Yeah.
And that cost the Yankees a game.
And I think I said that on the show after it happened. I said, we all kind of saw it coming, sadly enough. Like, we knew as soon as they took Herman out, we're like,
Yeah, like what?
this
What?
isn't going to be good. Why are you doing
No.
this?
No, we knew it was going to be bad.
Yeah.
And I think that's the point where if you weren't already on the fire Boone train, that's when a lot of people were like, what are we doing?
Right.
It began to make me question a lot more.
Mm.
I'm not on the fire Boone camp, to be completely transparent, but I think that one made me go, come on, man. That was glaring. That was a glaring mistake. And he admitted it.
Yeah.
Right? Like, yeah, I mean, you kind of have to, right?
Yeah. At that point, you have to. Yeah.
You're like, well, yeah, I screwed up, man. But yeah, that one I think was a big game for Domingo to solidify where he was at in this rotation. Things have happened to Domingo since then, as we know. See you in like 6 days, buddy.
Yeah.
Anyway, drop again your best and worst moments in the comment section here. And again, while you're there, you can drop questions for Fan Mail Friday. As always, we answer your questions on our Friday show. Hey, the series against Baltimore starts tonight. You can catch that game with John and Susan on Sirius XM. You may even hear our voices during the ad breaks on there. That game starts at 7:05. Coming up next, we're going to preview that series with Baltimore.
Buying tickets to your favorite events shouldn't be stressful. Game Time is the fast and easy way to buy tickets for all the sports, music, comedy, and theater near you. Steve's been using it this season, and he loves it. And if it's good enough for him, it's good enough for you. They have killer deals on last-minute tickets and their best price guarantee, so you can stop stressing over tickets and start getting hyped for the fun you'll have. Game Time also has flash deals and last-minute tickets. It's easy to find and buy tickets for every kind of event in your area, and they even give you images of your seats so you know what you'll be seeing. With their lowest price guarantee and even event cancellation protection, Game Time is the best place to buy tickets in just a matter of seconds. 2 taps and you're set. Snag the tickets without the stress with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, that's code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed.
Back here on Locked On Yankees, your first listen every day. Thank you guys so much. Hot, cold, and heating up, Stacey. We got a brand new series. Let's start with the obvious. 2 weeks running, the undisputed, undeniable champion of the world. Who is hot?
That would be Aaron James Judge, as Michael K would probably say, because he likes adding people's middle names. He has an OPS of 1402 since returning from the IL. Do you know? Do you guys know out there how ludicrous a 1402 OPS is?
Yeah. And that's not like the smallest amount of games at this point. Like, it's 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's a good enough sample size to think, wow, he's kind of on a mission here, and maybe he just needed to rest.
Yeah. On the flip side, Stacey, who's cold?
That would be DJ LeMahieu. Now, I will give him props. He made a really good play in Sunday's game against the Reds, and he's been looking pretty good when he plays third base. But offensively, the last 10 games, 12 strikeouts, only 1 extra base hit. It was a double. He needs to get things going. Yeah, because when DJ's on, that really helps the lineup.
Yeah. I think you've been able to hide it more because Judge and Rizzo are doing what Judge and Rizzo do.
Mm-hmm.
So you're able to hide DJ. When Judge was out and Bader was out, right? With Bader being back too, he's definitely not as scorching as he was last week. But yeah, you can kind of hide that a little better when you have those other guys in the lineup.
Yeah.
Stacey, who's heating up?
That would be Gleyber Torres. He has hits in 6 of his last 8 games, only 1 strikeout in his last 4 games. And, they're playing Baltimore, and his career batting average against Baltimore is .314, which, as we said before we started recording, or I joked about how 2019 kind of bumped that up a bit because he went ham against Baltimore in 2019. Him and Judge do really well against Baltimore, actually.
Yeah, I think Gleyber is one of the guys I'm looking out for this week. I think there's going to be obviously some newer pitchers he hasn't faced before because the Orioles are so young this year, and Kyle Bradish is going to be the first guy. So we'll talk about him in just a second. But amongst teams that he's played 20 games against, second highest career average against Baltimore. The highest is the Chicago White Sox. This is the best slash line he hasn't against any AL East opponent. So this is who he feasts on. And I'm keeping my eye. That's what heating up is for.
Right.
Because who do you need to keep your eye on here to get hot? You're on the bubble. Can you pop it? We'll see. Bonus heating up, Stacey. This one's for me. We mentioned it earlier. Clay Holmes.
Yeah.
I don't think he's done. I don't think he's won the closer role out of this or anything like that.
No.
9 1/3 scoreless consecutive innings, 13 strikeouts, and 3 walks since the Herman game.
Yeah, he's been doing really well. I don't cringe when he comes in, which is good because
that was rock bottom for him.
Yeah,
it feels like.
I feel like that was too. Yeah.
Just keep your eye on Clay Holmes. Again, I don't think he's won the closer role out of it.
No, but if a good Clay Holmes really helps this team
tremendously without Ian Hamilton right now.
Yeah.
You know, things we thought we'd be saying on April 1st.
April 1st. Who's Ian Hamilton?
Literally, we're going, wait, what?
Who?
I missed that signing. Hey, if you made it this far into the video, we haven't done this in like a week. Comment the word Zelda in honor of Tears of the Kingdom, just coming out a couple of days ago. I guess that was like a week ago now.
Yeah, it's been out a while. I only know Legend of Zelda because I'm old and I played it on Super Nintendo. But man, did I play that game for hours and hours and hours and hours in the 80s. So let me just say.
So there you go. If you're on our YouTube side, comment the word Zelda. I like picking these really weird ones because like when we did purple, I was like, I just imagine somebody at home scrolling down and going, what? Why is everybody saying purple? So that's what that's for. Comment the word Zelda. Okay. Pitching matchups for the series. Tuesday, Kyle Bradish versus Garrett Cole. Stace, what are you expecting out of Garrett Cole considering his last outing?
No, I'm expecting an improvement. I'm hoping for an improvement. I feel like he's on the upswing. You know, Baltimore is a tough team. They're right behind Tampa. You know, I mean, the AL East is getting squishier there in the standings, you know, by the way. Because the Rays are not playing at the clip that they were in the beginning of the year. The Orioles are playing at a clip that no one expected them to play. They're only 2.5 behind Tampa right now. So, or at the time of the recording. So they're just unbelievable this year. And they actually really scare me. I'm scared going into this series, by the way.
Yeah.
And I haven't felt that way about Baltimore in a while.
Yeah. It's been a minute. Kyle Bradish, heavy fastball slider combo, throws that slider away a lot to lefties and righties. So he'll try and backdoor it on lefties and away on righties. So keep your eye out for that slider, especially deeper in counts. He's not afraid to go to it. And he induces a lot of ground balls. So keep your eye out for that here on Tuesday night. Game 2, Wednesday night, 7 p.m. game. Nestor faces Tyler Wells. How are you feeling about Nestor lately?
I'm feeling better. About Nestor. You know, he's had success against Baltimore, but again, this is a slightly different team. They have, you know, really good rookies on the team who are like hitting like crazy. And, you know, they're just a really young, exciting team. And if they weren't in the AL East, I'd probably be pulling for them.
Sure. No, I mean, they're a very exciting team.
Yeah.
A beautiful ballpark and a great legacy. Like it's a great franchise.
Yeah. Well, again,
some stuff right now. But,
let's slow down.
Overall.
There. Yeah. Overall. No, I know what you mean. The ownership, but everything else about it. Like, I feel like that fan base deserves better than what the ownership is giving them. And I feel like this team is not what ownership expected yet. And they're getting rewarded a little too soon. So I'm just expecting, you know, Nestor to be on the upswing like Cole. Because, you know, I feel like they kind of hit a valley, both of them. And and I feel like they're coming out of it. And hopefully both of them will against Baltimore.
Kyle Gibson and Clark Schmidt on Thursday. Is this still the same with you? Just 5 innings, please, Clark?
Yeah, please. Just make it to 5. Just make it to 5. If you're in, I'll be so happy if you make it through 5 innings. That'd be great.
Yeah. I think we kind of do this unintentionally, Stacey. The picking the best matchup of the series. It's obviously Tuesday night, right?
Oh, yeah.
Bradish and Cole. I watched Kyle Bradish last season. He's legit.
Yeah.
He's legit. He was legit with Norfolk, and he's been great this season, especially his last 2 outings. He's coming in hot. So keep your eye out for Kyle Bradish. We'll see. He does induce some decent hard contact, though, which is probably the major knock to him. So we'll see if that helps out Aaron Judge tonight. I feel like Judge versus Bradish is going to be a nice little matchup in Judge's favor. So we'll see that. Hey, thanks for checking us out today. Leave your questions for us on the comment section here for our YouTube channel. Again, if you're on the audio side, the YouTube link is in the show notes. Just open your phone. You know where to find it. You can leave your questions for Friday's show. You can catch the whole Orioles series starting tonight at 7:05 on Sirius XM. Coming up on tomorrow's show, as we mentioned, we're going to break down Game 1 and see how we feel about this Bradish versus Colts, kind of the seasoned vet versus the new kid on the block in the AL East. So that's going to be a fun one to watch here tonight. That's going to do it for today's episode of Locked On Yankees. I'm Steve Granato.
And I'm Stacey Gotsoulias. We'll see you tomorrow.